Hello everyone, welcome to the financial information channel. In this video I'm going to give you the stock market news for the week, and I'm going to give you a recap of some of the companies that have done really well during the past few weeks. So now let's begin with the video to see how the stock market did during the week. And we had a really good week in the stock market, and as you see in the screen, the Dow went up 2.16%. and the Nasdaq went up 1.39% for the week, and the S&P 500 went up 1.58% during the week. So all the three indices went up a really good amount during the week. So the first story is about Apple, and I did a video about the Apple announcing the new iPhones that I'm gonna put here. And the news story says that the update that Apple is gonna have on the Safari browser is gonna impose a 20-hour data limit for advertisers. Obviously, a lot of advertisers are a bit upset because they're not going to be able to have that much information about customers. And the Apple stock actually sold off a little bit after the iPhone announcement, but now the price is starting to become more stable. The Apple stock has been up around 38% for the year. Now let's go to the next story, which is about Amazon. And the story says that Amazon is starting to acquire small channels so he can put them into the Prime TV. Most analysts believe there are around 66 million subscribers that pay around $99 per year. And you have to keep in mind that the Amazon Prime membership has a lot of value and benefits. Now for next week, we have the federal meeting where I don't know if they're gonna be able to raise the interest rates. In my opinion, I don't think the Feds are gonna raise the interest rates anymore in September. Most likely, they're going to raise the interest rate at the end of the year. Now let's take a look at some companies that have performed really well during the last couple of weeks. And the first one is Baozun. And as you remember from the video that I did, that I put here, the company has dropped over 20%. However, since that happened, as you see on the screen, the company has returned and has set new highs. The company went up over 43% during the last few weeks. But let's say that you didn't start the position right at the lowest price. If you had started position around the 30 price range, the company would have given you around 21% during the last few weeks. But now let's take a look at the stock chart so we can analyze the volume and if the company is overbought. And as you can see, the RSI, which is the relative strength index, is around 67. Anything over 70 means that it's not overbought. But the most important thing is, right from the beginning of September, we see that the volume has increased, especially the positive volume, and that is one of the reasons why the company has been able to move up really fast. And as you can see, the company has a lot of support around the $34 price. So if the company pulls back around the $34 area, it means that there might be an opportunity to buy more shares. And that is one of the reasons why the company started to move up. There was a lot of volume, but there were two catalysts for the company. And the first one is Citi raised the price target for the company around $38. And that was at the beginning of September. And the other catalyst was about Bank of America. Bank of America raised the price of the company from $34 to $38. And that happened this week. That is one of the reasons why the company moved up quite a bit during the week. Baozun has been an amazing stock in 2017. The company had gone up around 212% for the year. And the other company was Universal Displays. The stock symbol is OLED. And OLED had an amazing run because of the Apple announcement. And as you see in the screen, if you had bought shares around the August 22nd, the company would have given you around 19% return during the last few weeks. Now in this screen, you can see that even if you had bought shares right at the end of August, the company would have given you a positive return of about 6%. Now let's take a look at the next screen to get an idea if the company is overbought. Now as you can see in the screen, the company has an RSI of 71. That means that it's a little bit overbought. However, on the volume side, you can see the company has been more positive than negative. But the good thing is, if the company pulls back, there are a lot of support around the 125 to 128 price. And for OLED, you gotta keep in mind the company has posted really good earnings during the last 3 quarters. The company has been positive around 134 for the whole year, which is really nice. And we might see the company go up even more
once the iPhone X start getting pre-orders. The iPhone X has the OLED screens. And the last stock that I'm going to show you is Supernus Pharmaceutical. I ended up selling some position on Baozun so I could buy position on Supernus. I mentioned this company in the June video here, and for some reason I didn't buy any shares. Since that video came out, the company had moved up around 25%. Supernus is making a lot of money and it had a really good earnings last time. But now let's go to the next screen so we can see the stock chart. And as you can see, the RSI is around 65, which means that it's not overbought. It is above the 50-day moving average. And during September, the volume has been mostly positive, which is really nice. And as you can see, most analysts believe the perfect price is around $48.29. However, I think the company is gonna move up even higher. And the company has moved over 90% for the year, and I think it has more room to grow. So I began a small position in this company, which I should have done a while back, and I'm expecting the company to pull back a little bit so I could get more position. We will see what happens during the next few months. And that is gonna be everything for the video. Please leave in the comment section below any questions that you may have for the second channel Q&A that is coming out during the next few days. In the meantime, you can check the channel giveaway that I did here. And remember, you can subscribe to the financial information channel. I want to continue bringing videos about the stock market, personal finance, and how to make money online. Have an excellent day and take care, my friends.